Hey all, Steve from GuitarNiche here. Working on this Ovation Balladeer. It's got a few years on it. I believe it's 2000 or so. Anyway, why are we here? What am I talking about? What am I looking for? What am I trying to deal with? Well, a little problem, which happens more often than I like to see, but it's, it is what it is. And that is this first string nut won't tighten up on the tuner. And that can happen because of a couple things. One is tolerance. One is barrel length. That is, it can be so short that, it's not enough threads are catching. And just other things, of course, wear and tear. But it's not stripped, which is great. I took the tuner out to inspect the receiving end. Here, you'll see that. And sometimes these things will fracture if they're over torqued. So this is the actual tuner. Wanted to make sure that the collar here wasn't broken, which it's not. And in this case, we're good. Okay. So what are we gonna do to fix this? There's a couple of remedies that we can try. One is we can take the actual nut sleeve and pinch it using pliers or some sort of unit or something to take it slightly out of round. Yes, it's destructive, but what that will do is widen it enough to grab the threads, okay? And it does work, Plan B, should you choose to accept it, is to do the same to the collar itself. Again, that is a destructive process, okay? And sometimes, if you're in a pinch and you don't have options, this is what you need to do. These things can be replaced easily enough. I mean, go to a music store, they'll have these things in the tech department or the repairs, they should have them by, in scads. There's always a boneyard. You should be able to, if you ask politely and be nice and stuff, you should be able to find them, okay? And if they charge you for them, that's a shame. Anyway, so being that this is just doing the roundabout, pull that out, okay? You can see it's in great shape, really, all things considered. And the other ones are grabbing on just fine. So this is the odd man out. So it's just off tolerance a little bit. Now, I don't want to deform it. I don't want to bugger with the receiving end on the tuner itself, on the body housing. So my preferred method is to replace it with one that has maybe an extra thread or so, if I can find one. Now, I'm lucky in that being in, on this side of the bench, I have a boneyard. I mean, boxes and boxes and just scads of tuners and stuff like that and parts to draw from. And it wasn't too hard to find something that had at least a bit more length to it. So I'll pop that on there. And use my open-ended wrench just for illustration here. And just snug that up. Never over tighten. That's key. Never over tighten. It can, lead to damage around the collar. The finish can compress and fracture, and as the wood expands and contracts through seasonal changes. So just snug, not gorilla tight and not loosey-goosey. So that turned out just perfect. But like I said, the moral of this story as it is if you have to, the preferred method, if you can't get access to another one of these barrels, just squish the end of it just ever so slightly, deform it just teeny tiny little bit, and that should solve your problem. Okay? Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. As always, thanks a bunch for coming out. I really appreciate the comments and the new users, new eyeballs and stuff like that. I hope I'm providing some sort of useful information for you. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. At the end of the day, play loud, have fun, have a great day. Cheers. See ya.